Sabrina Ionescu is a professional basketball player, currently serving as a guard for the New York Liberty. Recently, she was selected to join the USA Olympic team, which is coached by Cheryl Reeve. This new opportunity highlights Ionescu's exceptional skills and contributions to the sport, as she takes on the challenge of representing her country on the Olympic stage.
Well, no, I mean, I didn't know what the franchise record for threes was, but I mean, they were going under. As a shooter, that's the most disrespectful thing you could do.
Sabrina Ionescu believes that the USA team is approaching their goals by taking it one step at a time.
I don't even think we've talked about that yet. I think we're all taking it kind of one step at a time.
The USA team understands what their opponents are capable of and focuses on controlling what they can manage themselves.
But I think understanding, like, we've played them, we understand what they're capable of doing, and we just got to control what we can and be the best that we can be every single day. And like Stewie said, all these days of practice, of games, are really important for us to continue to build chemistry and go out and be the best team that we know we can be.
The best part is being able to come together as a team with a shared goal.
The vibes are high. The hospitality has been great here, and I'd say the best part is just being able to all be together for a common goal. Obviously, we're here in training camp, getting the last practices in before we leave, and that's been really fun to be able to experience together.
Sabrina's feelings about joining the USA team have changed. It feels less exhilarating now compared to her rookie days.
Yeah, I'd say I just feel less as a rookie than I did last year. Just, being here, understanding, what coach wants from us in the system, understanding what it takes to play in a World Cup against the best players in the world. And now coming here for the second time, obviously still being one of the younger players on the team, but understanding what's expected of me and knowing what I had to do to prepare to get here, but also what is needed for me in training camp and how I can continue to get better and learn from being surrounded by the best coaches and the best players in the league.
It's truly amazing to see the growing investment in women's basketball, as it reflects a significant shift towards the talent and potential of female athletes.
I mean, I think it's amazing to be able to just see that investment and, wanting players to go out and be the best that they can be. And, obviously we have a teammate that's competing in the three-point shootout. And so I know we've been cheering, trying to hype her up, get ready for it, but excited to be able to see how it's evolved from last year and how it's going to continue to get better every single year.
This would be a fantastic opportunity for Sabrina, offering her a chance to showcase her skills on a larger stage.
Yeah, I think, briefly, obviously this would have been an amazing opportunity for us to be able to do it here. But I think also just understanding we're both so young in the league, like, we're going to have so many years to be able to do it. Whether, when the timing's, I think, a little bit right. For her, she just finished her college season like 2 months ago or 3 months ago, and I think just has a lot going on. So I don't really blame her for wanting to just kind of get in and get out, get the break that she probably really needs. And so, I think the future is bright for her in terms of what she's going to be able to do at All-Star games. And yeah.
Every time the Olympics air, Sabrina makes sure to watch, because it has always been her dream to compete in the games.
Yeah, no, I mean, always growing up, that's, every time the Olympics came on, that was something that I religiously watched, whether it was basketball or all the sports, because it's the best players in the world that are competing for a gold medal. And so I remember just being young, and my background was, the Olympic rings, and understanding that that's where I wanted to get one day.
It's always an honor for her to play for the USA team. Representing her country just makes her so proud and excited.
And now having the opportunity to represent my country is something that I never take for granted. And it's always an honor to be here, put USA across my chest, and, understand what it takes to compete and want to win. Yeah, well, I had a really healthy off season, which was, I think, just great for me mentally to be able to go out and train for 6 months on what I wanted to improve on. And that was just being able to kind of use my strength, my length to be able to get into the paint, take off on one foot, which was something I hadn't been able to do early in my career. Not having the confidence, the strength after having a debilitating injury to be able to do that. And so being able to put in a lot of work and understanding ways that I wanted to continue to improve my game, which has helped kind of, us, I think, being able to not just rely on 3-point shooting, but continuing to drive and kick and find ways to get my teammates open while, putting pressure on defenses has been huge.
I mean, I can't really even put it into words. It's been a goal and dream of mine ever since I was a little girl starting to play basketball. And so now being able to really be here, I just want to be in the moment, present, never taking any of these moments for granted, but understanding what an honor it is.
Sab, you have only had a few days to practice. So what has the chemistry been like as the teams come together?
It's been great so far. Obviously, we've had so many training camps and opportunities to be together. I think the ability for us to just come together and want to achieve a common goal, and everyone understands what that is. So we're all working together during this short amount of time, and no day goes by without us taking full advantage of the time that we have together on the court. Even though it's All-Star Weekend for us, this hasn't been that. It's been really a preparation for Paris.
Yeah, well, thankfully starting with USA at a really young age, going through U16, U17 and on.
Being on the USA team means her role is distinct, with her being among many of the best players in the league.
Understanding that your role is different on this team. You're surrounded by some of the best players, and you have to figure out a way to stand out and a way to bring, a level of expertise that is needed, from you, depending on game, depending on team, year by year. And so understanding that I've been through that from a really young age, and being able to take those experiences and now understand when you get here, you're not needed to score 30 points. You're surrounded by the best players. You should be able to get an easy shot. And so it's really understanding how I can be better for my teammates, and understanding that the ultimate goal is to win gold. Everything else, stats, points, doesn't matter. It's just figuring out what your role on that team is and how you can help them win.
Yeah, well, I've only done it once, here at the All-Star Weekend, so I don't know if I have that much advice. But I would say it's just to try and lock in on, one shot at a time. I think it could get overwhelming, kind of just knowing everyone that's shooting. Great shooters are in it this year. The crowd usually gets into it really, a lot, and it's really just you in the basket. And so I think it's trying to not overthink too much about, how many shots you're going to take, but just staying locked in on one shot at a time and enjoying it. I think you got to have fun. It's a fun competition to be able to be a part of. And I'm excited for JJ. Obviously, she's a great shooter, and I think she's going to have a lot of fun as well. Obviously, I've had a couple camps there, but being able to have a foundation event, just allowing, underprivileged kids to be able to come out. There were a lot of kids that haven't been to a camp before, and I've had 3 there already. So understanding that we're able to target a different, demographic of people in that region and in that area that haven't had the opportunity to come to a camp to play basketball, to be surrounded by the Oregon women's basketball team who was able to come and stop by and answer any questions that some of the campers had. And so I believe it was super important, and I'm so glad that I was able to have that event there, and understanding that we're touching, a lot of kids who haven't had the opportunity to come to a camp, and hopefully can continue to do a lot more.
Sabrina gets to see the achievements of the USA team and watch as they keep improving over time.
Yeah, I'd say the first half has been great. Obviously being able to see what we've been able to accomplish, continuing to just get better every single game, fought some adversity, grinded out a lot of wins, and obviously that's great, but now we got to look forward to the second half and just continuing to find ways to get better. Yeah, I'm excited. Obviously, it being my first one, not really sure what to expect, but just been in the moment this entire time, just understanding what a blessing it is to be able to do this and be able to represent my country. It's something I've dreamed of since I was young, and being able to do it obviously alongside Stewie has been, a blessing for me, being able to just lean on her and have someone that obviously I'm really close to out there kind of on this journey with me is something I don't take for granted either.
Yeah, it's obviously super unfortunate. I was, had my fingers crossed and hoping that Portland would be able to get one. Just understanding the talent that's there. There's so many young players that have been able to watch professional sports there through soccer, and then also just college. College hoops have been crazy there, and understanding what we've built through the last couple years. And there's so many young athletes that are in Portland area that are going to go on to play in college and to play professionally, and to be able to have a team there, understanding the fan base that the city has created would have been amazing. So obviously it's a huge bummer that, they weren't able to kind of figure it out, but understanding that the next city that's going to be able to get it, it's going to be amazing there as well.
Reeve, the head coach of the USA basketball women's team, has recently sparked controversy with her selection choices for the Olympic roster. Her decisions, which have generated significant debate, have drawn criticism from various quarters and led to discussions about the criteria and process behind team selections.
We didn't get to see some of those phases of the offense, but the roster, the final roster was put together for the versatility that you speak about.
Cheryl is aware that the USA team requires adversity to overcome challenges and enhance their performance.
There's no question about it. I know it's what we anticipated as coaches, and I also thought it's what we needed. We need adversity. I think to be able to reach your greatest heights, you have to experience adversity. And so a game like that, in an environment like that, I think that will prove to be a valuable experience for us as we continue to move forward towards being in Paris and competing for a gold medal.
Caitlin Clark's absence from the Team USA lineup was due to a decision made by Cheryl Reeve.
What's her name? I'm sorry. She's the Minnesota Lynx coach. She's the coach of USA basketball. I don't know if you guys heard her after the game, but she was asked about roster construction and whether she would make any changes. She said no. But again, she at no point did she say the committee decided. The committee decided. This feels like it was her call.
In 2021, the Olympic team was defeated by the WNBA All-Stars in a pre-tournament exhibition in Tokyo.
In 2021, the Olympic team lost to the WNBA All-Stars in the tune-up to Tokyo. They went on the cruise to their 7th consecutive gold medal. Just like 2021 exhibition, the Americans had no answer for Arike Ogunbowale.
Yeah.
The MVP of Saturday night's game, scored all 34 points in the second half of the victory. She's also earned MVP honors in 2021.
The match was similar to one 3 years ago, where the Olympic team also fell to the WNBA All-Stars.
I mean, this is familiar from 3 years ago. They came out and obviously did what they did tonight in similar ways. What do you take away from this? And is one of the positive that you were in the spot before and things worked out pretty well in Tokyo?
Yeah, if you can promise me that's how it's going to work out this time, I can tell you it was very positive tonight.
Cheryl appreciates that the game was a fantastic display of basketball to watch.
I think first it would be really short-sighted of me if I don't take a moment and recognize what a great game it was, what a great environment, fun for people to watch, and we have work to do, right? And we know that.
Her actions were not merely inappropriate for someone in a coaching position.
Her whole act, her whole bravado is so it's not just unbecoming of somebody who's a coach, but your job when you're USA basketball, the coach USA basketball, like you're a champion of the game. You're growing the game, and there just isn't there's a coach speak code that everyone knows, and she refuses, and it shows her what has to be an insecurity, right? She feels like Shooter McGavin. That's what she feels like. I was too busy winning.
There was a significant display of insecurity from Cheryl that seemed to affect her actions and decisions.
But she took the worst team in the WNBA. They're terrible to start the year, and now they're competitive. And oh yeah, by the way, she's really good, and people care. They want to watch her play. And when put in a situation where you have better players around her, she becomes a facilitator. Like, I don't understand what her deal is other than some massive, massive insecurity.
Shannon, tell us something really important we need to know, making sure we understand why it matters.
And let me tell you something. Seeing them up close and personal. This is my second time seeing Caitlin Clark. I saw her in Vegas about a month ago when she came and played the Aces. Angel Reese has an elite skill set. The basketball is like a magnet. She gonna get it. She attract it.
Every time.
She's gonna get the basketball. I don't know. I mean, and there's Brianna Stewart right there. There's is Asia Wilson there. She's gonna get that ball.
Caitlin Clark has an elite skill set with a bunch of top-notch talents that really set her apart from the rest.
Caitlin Clark has an elite skill set of passing the basketball.
Yes, sir.
She has an elite skill set. I don't care what you think.
She can see things that other people can't on the court.
It's elite. And I said both of the women would be successful for the one skill set that is elite. One can pass the ball, the other can rebound the ball.
I mean, I think it's been happening, prior even to this team. This momentum, this wave, that we're feeling, it has been sort of this kind of journey for women's basketball to get the attention that it is, getting at this point. So I think we mirror what's happening, obviously in the WNBA. And, I think hopefully this team can uphold, sort of the culture and the level of success and compete. And but I don't necessarily know that this team is going to be, the team that changes things.
So what I'm saying is, as I think I just did, I can make an argument on either side of this that you want. Which side do you buy, Hembo?
This is a massive mistake to exclude Caitlin Clark from the Team USA roster. Massive. We're acting as if putting her on the team would be a patronizing act. Who are we kidding? I mean, she ranks in the top 5 in the WNBA right now in meaningful stats, leaving aside the marketing of it. This is not putting Tim Tebow on your team, okay? This is not Jeremy Lin. This is a top 20 to 25 player in the world right now who is struggling in some sense early in her career, but is at least still representing herself and her team effectively. And if we're to be honest, Team USA is not going to lose because she's on the team, okay? They've won 55 straight games. The last time they lost, I was 2. All right, I'm 34 now. They're not going to lose any game because Caitlin Clark's on the team. So if we're going to put the 12 best players on, and that's inarguable, I'm good with it. But you know what? That's not really what they did either. They put a 42-year-old Diana Taurasi on, who's inarguably not a top 12 player in the country. They also put Chelsea Gray on, who's been hurt and isn't playing at all this season. We've also seen, historically, them put on several rookies, so it's not as if that would be unprecedented.
It feels like there's some resentment and jealousy within the USA women's basketball team.
So it's not obvious to me what the plan was here. To me, it's pretty clear. There's some resentment and there's some jealousy, and you can hide behind, she's not a top 12 player. The problem is, they didn't really use that standard for making the rest of the team.
The resentment and jealousy comes from who?
From a variety of people.
Are any of them the people who are making this decision?
I don't know, but I'm sure that the people making these decisions are being influenced and pressured by people that do feel that resentment, that jealousy, which is a vile thing to feel.
The women's Olympic team said, if we put her on the team, there is no question she's going to be a distraction. Well, you know what's a distraction? Her not on the team. That's what everybody's talking about. So and here's the other thing, is that I've learned with women's basketball as a whole, they're very much like men's soccer in America. They're a little petty. They've been ignored to a larger degree than other sports, and they've got a chip on their shoulder, and they're sort of a prove you belong. For United States men's national team, the soccer fans, it's like you have to have a passcode to even talk about the sport online. And for women's basketball, it's this constant prove you belong.
You spoke pregame, and you mentioned that you think an advantage you all have consistently would be versatility. Just looking at your offensive process, we saw some kind of guard screening for each other and things like that. Can you just kind of speak to the value that you see in that particular context of play and just how it kind of makes you all maybe unique from other teams in Olympic play?
Cheryl claims that the USA team still hasn't reached its full potential.
We haven't really got that layered yet. And so I think we have really good basketball players that know how to play, can do things that are unscripted. Some of the actions that you were talking about, where they're just playing after the initial movement that we get and playing different lineups, versatility, each position. I think that's incredibly valuable. Being able to play big, playing, whether we're playing AT Stewie in Asia or, throw BG in there, we put Fee in there. And then we can also, turn it around and be really aggressive on the perimeter in terms of being able to play in transition. A lot of things that we didn't get tonight that we think we can get to.